settled. It's nothing else. I mean, camp is not what do I need to send a camp referral in for?
Because if I'm the one that's going to pay for this medication, as you pointed out, the insurance is not going to be, then I would like to feel that I can get it as affordably as possible. And as I understood you to tell me, that's what camp does.
That is the cheapest. That is the cheapest you're going to get Plavix, sir. I'm sorry.
Or any of the rest of them. I don't know. Since it's my responsibility to ask.
Let me see if you qualify for them. If you qualify, I will send that referral in. If I look at it and you don't qualify, I will let you know that you don't qualify. Okay? And I don't have any other suggestions after that. That's the only suggestion I have is to let camp call you, go over your medications. They're going to tell you. They're going to be transparent and tell you the truth. So, sometimes the truth hurts. It hurts. And sometimes we just in situations that we don't don't understand.
I was fine.
So I'm going to
I would have been fine. All I needed was that Plavix. And some reason, you seem to be aware for the reason that I didn't receive it. Right now I am too. But the doctor had no idea. The doctor didn't, or he would have made arrangements, ma'am. Don't that seem logical to you? He would have made arrangements right then.
Doctor, he would have still gave you Plavix and then put it on the case manager to figure out how if you got the funds to do it. And at the hospital, if you don't have the funds to do it, they sometimes would do charity.
But it wasn't funded. They had no idea about funding. They had no idea whether I was paying for that medication, whether I was able to, whether I was not able to, whether I was going to, whether I had to. They didn't. They did what they was told. They refilled those prescriptions. But they took it upon themselves to go on the one that was already, so they didn't tell anybody, ma'am. Didn't come back and forward that information. They kept that information to themselves. Well, you're right. It's not how it's supposed to work. That's how it did work.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works when you go in the hospital. It's just not. What you're saying is it might be convenient, but it's not. That's not how it works. They can't do that with every patient and every patient that comes in there. So things like that, that's not how it works. You gotta tell and you gotta stay on it. You gotta be your own advocate.
Ma'am,
be an advocate for yourself.
You're talking about this visit here. This changed everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what else to tell you.
I did, ma'am.
Right,
I told them. I didn't have the medication.
Okay.
And I don't know what was I supposed to do in addition to telling them. What was I supposed to do?
So,
how did I know that they weren't sending the Plavix, ma'am? How did I know that?
Yeah.
My doctor didn't.
Well, the nurse, they go over that stuff. So that's just you got to be attentive to that. Because the nurse goes over that stuff when you come in there, and
told
that's
me.
When you say, "Hey, where's my Plavix?"
You know what could have changed it right then is I did have the medication. I had it. The pharmacy had sent it up. It had already been paid for. So I'm sitting there with bottles of medication that I trusted that you just filled the order. How could it be wrong?
Okay.
So when it's there and he's going over the information with me, and he's telling me to take each one of these drugs, and he's going over the intended purpose for the drug, then yes, I'm agreeing. Yeah, okay, I see that. I did not know Plavix was not in that lineup, ma'am. He didn't either.
I'm sorry.
He didn't either. At that point, right then and there, I could have said, apparently you're not aware, or the pharmacy didn't send Plavix. I don't have Plavix. This could have been taken care of right then. Had the pharmacy at least, or they could have called. They could have called. They called me. They could have called the doctor or anywhere in the department, said, he's already set up for this, so we're not going to fill that order. And then at that point, somebody could have said and straightened it all out. No, ma'am, I was denied all of that. And I'm just one person. Again, this is happening somewhere else right now. That they're deciding that somebody's already got this, and they're having to go through the same position, and they're going to have to be, just as you said, they're going to have to be their own advocate when the provisions were already there in place.
Change. That's the thing. It's not going to change.
Oh, it's going to change.
Look at it, and No,
Yes,
it's not
it
going to
will.
change because your insurance is not going to pay for anything that you already
My insurance
received.
is not even a part of this equation, ma'am.
Yeah,
Whether
it
I
is.
got insurance or not.
That's the reason why.
I
that's
still
the reason why
need this
pharmacy-
medication, and it's still going
That
to
is
be
the reason why
prescribed to me,
pharmacy did
and it's
not
still
pay.
going to be up to me
But-
to figure out how to pay for it. Now, whether I do it out of pocket,
Exactly.
you're right, or I have it in
Exactly.
insurance, that's got nothing to do with it. It's
Exactly.
filled in the first place. Got nothing to do with it.
Yes, but I'm saying it does have a lot to do with it, Mr. David. You know, I tell you again, the pharmacist is not gonna feel anything that you already had and you lost the bottles. It's just not gonna happen that way. So I'm gonna call Ken. I'm gonna look at your stuff, try to figure out what way I can help you in the future, since you already got everything taken care of with the Plavix. I will try to see if they can come in and look at the rest of your medications, if they can call you and go over your medication. Even if they can't help you do anything, pay for anything or anything like that, I'm going to see if they can give you a call and explain your medications and explain how pharmacy works, because that's what CAMP is. CAMP is a pharmacy. They're a pharmacy. They're going to go look at your medications, and they're going to see how much your medications cost, and they're going to tell you what is cheaper, what your Medicaid pay for, what your Medicaid doesn't pay for. They're going to go over all those things. What I can encourage you to do is please keep up with your medications and take your medication as prescribed, okay? I can encourage you to do those things because what you just said, Plavix is important, but somehow or another you weren't taking any of these important medications. So, and you didn't go back to your doctor to try to get them filled or see what was going on with them. I'm looking at your whole picture here. The chart, what you're telling me, what was documented, I'm looking at the whole picture here. So I'm being as transparent. I apologize to you for whatever happened
and that brings
at the
us,
hospital.
but that only brings us up to a point, ma'am. That you're right, but that only brings us up to a point. And as a result of what you're saying, possibly it could be the reason that I had to come back to the hospital in the first place.
Right,
but then they
exactly.
changed it, whatever medication that they felt that I had, that got changed. Every bit of it got changed. I'm not even if I have that medication, I'm not supposed to take it anymore. And so, except with the one exception of the Plavix. And the doctor certainly wasn't aware of that, or he would have put it on there, ma'am. Doesn't that make sense to you? He would have put it on there. It shows that you have some. Well, I don't have any, doc. Well, we'll go ahead and put that on there. He didn't know the pharmacy was going to do that. Nobody knew that we had to have the clairvoyance and foresight to know that.
That's what I'm saying. The doctor did not order that medication from the hospital. He did not do that. Because he's looking at the same thing I'm looking at. And what I'm looking at is you got 3 refills of Plavix over there at the pharmacy. So why would he prescribe you no prescription? I'm looking at you got 3 refills sitting over there at the pharmacy right now.
The aspirin, ma'am. Wonder why the aspirin didn't
not
fall.
The aspirin.
Let's use that. I'd like to use that as an example, if you'd allow me. That why did the aspirin get filled also? Well, why didn't it show that I had aspirin?
Because if you look at on the right hand side, if you look at the aspirin on the right hand side, the medications the doctor ordered aspirin again.
Well,
that's why aspirin is up there.
Then okay, here it is. That must be the whole thing that we're missing. So he ordered the aspirin, which clearly it must show the same thing, ma'am. It must show that I have aspirin. It has to.
No, it don't show that you have. It don't show you got. What it shows is that you ain't got no refills. 0 of 0 remaining. That's what it shows. When I look at what the pharmacy put in here and what the doctor look at,
now I'm really confused.
81 milligrams.
So
you had no refills.
I ran out of all my other prescription except for the Plavix. Is that what I'm understanding?
I don't know. I can go down and tell you, like you had, let me see, aspirin, Torvastatin, or how that was on something new for you, and your Torvastatin is good. So your Torvastatin, you had 0. So your aspirin, you had no refills. That's why he refilled it. Your cholesterol medicine, you had no refills. That's why he filled that one. Your spironolactone, you had no refills. That's why he filled that one. your chlorthalidone, you had no refills. That's why he filled. All these medications is not new to you. It's medications that you already had, but you did not have a refill to them. And your amlodipine, you have no refill. Well, you have refills now because he ordered, but you had no refills, and he ordered that amlodipine.
But the Plavix.
So all those medications, the reason why the Plavix
somehow
you got 3.
Right.
You got
so
3
I had
refills
no. I'm just trying to understand what you're telling me. Nothing else I had. I had refills on Plavix, 3 refills on Plavix, but none on anything else. How in the world is that possible?
You had. It said zero of zero.
I see, but ma'am, you understand that I can't understand how this could happen. How can I be out of these medications but still have this medication? Wouldn't it seem logical that they would all run out on the same date?
No, that's not true. That because your aspirin, you got on your aspirin, it says you got 90 tablets. It all depends on how you're taking your medication. You weren't taking your medication, so of course you will have.
But that's not how they don't prescribe on how I might take it. They prescribe on how they suggest I take it, so they should all be coincided to last the same amount of time. You're not going to have me coming in 3 days a week. This prescription ran out, and 3 days later this one runs out. They don't do that, ma'am. They try to time this also. It'll run out the same amount of time, so they send it. At one time, I had all this was mailed to me. I didn't have to do anything, and I don't understand the difference.
Mr. David. So I got to end this call. We've been on it a long time, and I got to call other patients. But that's not how it operates. I've been doing this for years, so that's not how. And I take medications too, and that's not how it operates. I just try to make sure that whatever the pharmacist send me that I need to refill, I just refill them all, and I go pick them up all at the same time.
That's what I tried to do, man.
It's not exactly what I tried to do. It's not pain medication. Yeah. No. These are not pain medications. So you can order these several days ahead of time, and the pharmacy will get them all filled. So if they 2 or 3 days apart, you can just order it, and the pharmacy will fill them, and you pick them all up at one time.
And all I need to do is know that needs to happen. Right. But in this case, I didn't have that luxury. Right. Nobody knew about this Plavix situation. Nobody knew.
Look on your bottles. When you get your medication, Mr. David, please listen. When you get your medications, please take them according to throughout you did not take any of your medications. Your medication lost. You don't know where they're at. You didn't get in contact with your doctor. Please do that. Please take your medications and please keep up with them. And because the insurance again, it's not the pharmacy. It's the insurance is not going to pay for them. So the pharmacist is not going to fill them. And they're going to say, hey, when you check on it, they're going to say, hey, insurance don't fill it. It's too early. You can pay out of pocket. And it's up to you whether you have the money to pay out of pocket or, you try to falsify.
I appreciate that, ma'am, but it seems like this information would have been best suited if I had been included in some of that knowledge.
Yeah.
It would have been nice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it wasn't feasible and it did not happen. I'm sorry, but I'm going to send your information to camp. I'm going to do the best I can for you, okay? Try to figure out what we can go.
I appreciate that, ma'am, because I also realize my position because I've had UNC call me before, and apparently I I answered wrong or white, I don't know, but they just hung up. When they heard my voice, that was enough. Wow. So when I called back the number that came, nobody knew. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew why I called. They didn't know of anybody who tried to call me. They didn't know any reason why. They didn't know any of that. So I'm sensing a pattern here. Again, I can't decipher it all.
Sorry.
I'm sure a good attorney will. I got to get out today and do this anyway. I'm gonna find one.
Yeah, so try to get your medication. That's what I want you to try to do. And I'm gonna do it. Like I said, I'm gonna call camp. I'm gonna do what I can. And I gotta look through your chart though. And they got information up there. They got a lot of information. And I know you don't want to read over it, but it's a lot of information. Okay, so please read over that. Call 911 for any medical emergencies, and I'm gonna check on camp for you. Okay.
Somebody with a learning disability can't even just throw it out. All right.
Well,
all right.
I mean, but what do you do? What do you do in a daily situation, Mr. David? What do you do?
You don't get to compare that.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but what do you do? No, I'm asking you because I'm a case manager, and that's what we do. We're like social workers. So I need you to tell me what do you do every day. Because the hospital can't be there. The hospital, you can't lean on the hospital because you have these disabilities. We have plenty of patients that have, and workers, So, I'm going to do it the best I can, okay? And I'm going to call camp and see if I can get those medications, let them go over those medications with you, okay? But I do truly understand where you're coming from, and I'm going to try to do the best I can, but I do have to end this call because we done been on this call for an hour and 18 minutes. Oh. And I have other patients that I got to call as well, okay?
I appreciate your time and your effort,
going to try to call. You're welcome. I'll talk to you shortly.
I'm sorry for my demeanor. All right. I'm sorry I imagine you go through this all because your patient level and my situation and the political atmosphere in the world, I should be subject to a whole lot, and I don't feel that you did. So I appreciate that. I really do. I'm sorry for my position. We wouldn't be having this conversation had this been, no ma'am. It was very, very simply avoidable. But yet I'm still in this situation. I don't appreciate it. And again, I'm not the only one. I refuse to believe I'm the only one. If I was, you know what? If I really thought that I was the only one, I would shut the hell up. If out of all the people that you deal with, and I'm the only one this happened to, then that's just it happens. But no, ma'am, I guarantee I'm not. I shudder to think because I actually feel pretty good right now. I wonder about the people who are not able to pursue this as you're suggesting they would have to while they're worse off than me. I cannot imagine trying to do that.
You got to rely on your family for or
no
friends.
Family, ma'am. Zero family.
I don't know. I don't know what else. If you don't have family and friends, I don't know what else to tell you.
I will figure it out. But that's the one thing that I shouldn't have to be fighting is to wonder that something that's been told to me to do, and I've expressed that can't do it. We need to come up with arrangements, and they knew that this still happened. I did what I was supposed to do, ma'am. I was a good patient.
Mr. David.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Let me look through your chart,
enjoy the rest of your day, ma'am.
Okay, you enjoy your day too, and I'll try to see what I can do for you. Okay.
Thank you again.
All right, you're welcome, Mr. David. Take care.
Yes, ma'am. She's right. It was an hour and 20 minutes. Pissed them. Oh, y'all missed the fucking first part of it. That's why it's always these damn conversations when I don't have the memory in my phone or another phone or the goddamn tablet that I just bought. I never have. Now I got a what is this little Samsung camera in here that happened to be charged, and it happened to have some chip left in it that I've got room to record all this. So I don't know what the fuck. Them goddamn people, but them fucking people. But here's a little paper that they gave me with take these medications here, and then the other, look, way the fuck over here is some more. Start taking this. Pause taking this. Stop taking this. Well, I wondered about that. Stop taking, because I don't have that shit. Y'all already been told. I don't have any of this stuff. It's gone. So any medications that I need, y'all need to ensure that I have. Oh, that's not going to be a problem. And now the stuff that we're talking about, yeah, I found out it wasn't there. Oh, we weren't going to eat and order it, blah, blah, blah. You got it. I said, why the fuck? Then, if that's true, why could I just call up to the pharmacy and have them order it? Why didn't they tell me the same bullshit that I'm hearing now? Why didn't they tell me any of that? What they did tell me is, we gave you a 30-day supply. It'll be ready in 30 minutes. We're open till 4 o'clock. it'll be another $9. That's what that's what they told me. Of course, now how the hell to get over there and how to come up with the 9, they didn't tell me that part. And as this woman pointed out, that's my problem. But that doesn't matter. My problem didn't exist until they caused this problem for me. It wasn't a problem. Fucking you, goddamn. And here's the thing that scares me the worst of all. I'm gonna end the video. This is UNC Hospital, one of the best in the nation, one of the best hospitals in the entire fucking country. God help anybody. Don't you smoke, don't you fucking drink. If you think you feel good now, that's because you've never had a little taste of what it can be. You've never had that to compare it to. And so you feel fine, you run around, I'll feel fine, I don't care, I'll smoke, I'll do a little something happen to me. You got no fucking idea. I wasn't kidding. That goddamn pain that I was in before, that's my fucking painkiller. I won't go through that fucking pain again while I sit and wait for the goddamn 911 to answer the phone. Somebody come over here and fucking get me 10 to 15 minutes later. Come and drag me over and try to shove me in the vehicle for another 8 or 10 minutes. Play 20 goddamn questions with me while we roll another 15 minutes back to the place while they drag me out of the goddamn truck and then shove me in the place 20 more fucking questions till I finally get some type of treatment or relief. No, that's not gonna happen. That's the only goddamn choice that I see that I have. That's the only one. I want to thank you very fucking much for that, UNC. Thank you so goddamn much.